Okay folks, I got two repairs tonight, both of them Bigtrak Junior Dubreq. Not the Xenon Tech, the Dubreq. Now this is an important distinction. The Xenon Bigtrak Junior has got a different circuit board inside to the V1 Dubreq. Now, both have got the same symptom but two totally different problems. Neither of them have drive, but for two different reasons. Okay, so we're going to look at the first one on the right here now. We're going to use it, hold it the best I can with my laptop. Hi guys, Bigtrak channel tonight. Tonight we got two Bigtrak Juniors in for repairs. Both of them have no drive, but for two different reasons. Turning so I'm away from the light, that's just as bad. Bring the camera up. So both of them are working for two different reasons, but neither of them have drive. So I'm going to bring you in, try to bring you in now because I use my laptop, so I got no viewfinder on the rear, so you have to bear with me on this. But at least I can show you the strip down, the tear down, and how to check. Now, first of all, I'm going to use a Xenon Bigtrak to explain the tear down, as you can have a look yourself. Right. Let's get this up on here, gives a bit of light, correct light. Okay, straightforward to strip. Two screws in the front, two screws up in here either side. If you're taking the motors out, carefully pry open the clips inside the wheels with a flat blade screwdriver or a blunt knife so they just split open enough and pop off the arms. You'll find behind the wheel a Phillips screw. Take those out, take all the wheels off. Take the four screws out. Lift the top off from the rear forward. You'll find four wires. Two to the laser, two to the speaker. Be careful, they are very fine wiring, very fine, so don't just yank the top off. Easy, nice and gentle. Next you'll see the connection for the ribbon, for the board. It will be thus. I bring this up now, so we're on to the next stage. We've opened the top up. So I'll bring this back. There's your four wires. I've already resoldered these. Be very gentle. Then you have your ribbon, which is connected there. That just pulls out of here. Now the problem with this one is somebody's already been inside and they've rewired the board. Somebody's had to go. Luckily for me, I got another Dubreq now. The Xenon Bigtraks and the Dubreq Bigtraks, there's different motherboards inside. So we show you here now. The problem I got this one is, why there's no drive. Somebody has pushed it several times without power to the motors. What happens is the gears come off the motors. That's a nice easy fix. Just be a matter of arrowditing the motors back on and it should be working again. So if you get one but you can hear the motor running and there's continuous sound, no movement, 95% chance on the Dubreq it's the motor gear has come off the motor. Carefully, very carefully take it apart. These are all wiring, brittle wiring, they break easy. Now the problem with this one, somebody has put the wire in and mixed up the wiring in different places on the board. So this one is going to be a matter of unsoldering all the connections and resoldering them. But this one I'll more than likely use it as a donor because it's already been burnt by someone who's done it on here. So this might just become a parts donor. But the left hand side motor is good. The gearbox is good, is working well. So this may well just become a donor for parts. So how you can differentiate between the two? One will actually say Xenon Let me get there. There we are. Xeon on the bottom. The other one will say, try getting the light, Dubreq. Oh, my finger is there. They're not interchangeable. They are different motherboards, different connections. You would have to do a complete gut strip and swap over if you wanted to salvage a Mark 1. The Mark 2 or Series 2, Series 3 by Xeon is much sturdier wiring, much more reliable chassis, and better assembled than the V1. So tip, if you're collecting the Bigtrak Juniors, you haven't got one which is working, you are going to need another Dubreq to salvage parts from. V2, V3, you can use the Xeon and swap the chassis completely inside. The mouldings are the same. It's just the motherboard and the wiring is different internally. Okay, so I hope this helps some of you with your Bigtrak Juniors if they're not driving. If the motor's working, you can hear the motor working, there's a 95% chance the gear has come off the shaft of the motor, needs araldite back on, 2-part epoxy, super glue is no good, with the torque from the motor. As soon as it drives it, something stops and puts torque onto the motors, it'll just break the glue and it'll be spinning motors again. And you'll get that click, 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 click as you push it. So, 2-part epoxy, araldite the gears back onto the shafts, and you'll have a running Bigtrak Dubreq, again a V1. V2 doesn't seem to have the problem. They're far better secured on the drive shafts on the V2 and V3 than the V1. Okay guys, all 3 bunches back together now, I'll show it running. Okay guys, it's been 4 hours, the araldite is set now. Now these are the V2 motors, bring it to the camera. They have a brass drive on them, which is pressure fitted onto the prop shaft, or whatever you want to call it, from the motor. And on the V1, to clear my throat then, have a look here, it's just a little plastic press on bezel, little plastic press on gear. And the glue from the factory over years, as it becomes hard and brittle, it breaks. So that's been araldite and set now. I'll rebuild it, test it. Fingers crossed it's okay. If not, I'll be cutting the wires off the V2 Bigtrak Junior and swapping the motors to the V1. Okay, let's see how it goes. Hiya guys, so this is the final part of the video on the Bigtrak channel. Right, what we actually discovered was, after we changed re-araldited the gears to the motors on the V1 Dubreq Bigtraks, a truth I thought would happen, as soon as they come across any obstacle, the extra torque just broke the glue on the shafts. So what I did was then, I swapped out to V2 motors with brass drive gears fitted instead. Put them into the motors, worked great for a few minutes. Then the near side gearbox differential stopped working. I took it apart. The teeth on the gearbox are a slightly different ratio to what's on the V1 and it knackered the gearbox. Unfortunately, the light emitting diode pack in the original V2 gearbox was faulty as well. So what I ended up doing was swapping the 2 motors. So the motors are working, keyboard's working, photon cannon's working, speakers working, everything's working. I just now got to locate a V2 gearbox for the near side, so we'll have a complete working V1 Bigtrak Junior. I hope this little video has helped some guys out there, because I haven't found nothing, no schematics, anything on the V1 on how to repair or upgrade it. So if you do have a problem with drive, get hold of a tatty V2, as long as it's functioning, swap out both gearboxes and the motors, and it will give you a good working V1. Trying to swap over V1 parts is a complete waste of time. It's because of the plastic drive shafts, plastic gears on the drive shafts from the motors into the reduction gears. As they get older, the plastic is getting brittle and they break in, and kids have been pushing them with no batteries in, and it's damaging teeth inside. This is something I've learned out whilst I've been doing this video, and it was a complete waste of time faffing around. It would have been better off first as last, getting a V2, rip the guts out, slap it into the V1, and it would have been quicker. Because somebody had been in, soldering around, melted the body. I thought I was going to save a couple of pounds. I probably would have, but in the long term, it's actually taken longer, and I still haven't got a fully working V1. So that's it, guys. I hope this helps some of you. Hope you will enjoy the channel, and there'll be more coming up. I have, if I just come over here to show you a second, ready to come up for the channel for the next couple of videos. I have original 1979 Bigtrak with trailer and a 2010 reissue. I don't know if you can see them there. So that's it for tonight. Thanks and bye bye.